Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's Sunday morning. It's Easter morning, no less. The clocks have gone forward. We've lost an hour in bed. So if I'm all bleary-eyed and stumbly, I know you're probably used to it already. Don't worry about it. Bear with me. It's been another good week of watching. I think we've got... What have we got for you guys this week? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 9 titles, single figures. I'm slacking. Normally I hit double figures, but there you go. So let's see what I've been watching this week. I kicked off the week with another viewing of Die Hard 4.0, as they call it on this one. Didn't it used to have a different name? Was it Die Hard with a Vengeance, if memory serves me right? Now, as an action film, I think this is a decent film, but when it comes to the world of Die Hard, it just doesn't feel like a Die Hard film for me. There's some great set pieces in it. The bit where he knocks out a helicopter with a car, that always makes me smile. There's a bit where he's sort of piggybacking on a jet aeroplane. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Timothy Oliphant, I think is the name of the bad guy. He's probably the weakest bad guy thus far in the series. Not a patch on the Gruber brothers. But as I say, it's a standalone film. I think it's great, but just doesn't feel like a Die Hard film to me. Watch it though. Still recommended. Next up, Marches. Now, I'd heard a lot about this film. Notorious for its content. If you've seen like the Hostel films, this takes that and takes it up a notch. Yeah, it's a really disgusting film to watch. It's all about one of these girls. I'll get them mixed up because they look similar. One of these girls, she spent a good few months being held captive in the basement of a house where she was tortured, and she manages to escape. Then 15 years later, because she's lost her memory, she remembers where the house is, goes back with a shotgun and starts shooting everybody. And then her friend, she comes along to the house and tries to help clear it all up. Then it takes a real turn into left field, which I wouldn't want to tell you about it because it'll spoil the film. But yeah, it takes a real turn in where it's going, and it gets even more horrible and more disgusting. And it is one you really struggle to watch. One that I wouldn't recommend unless you've got a stomach for really strong gore. But it had an ending that really made me think what it meant. The ending surprised me. And yeah, if you've seen it, it's one that makes you think. And I think I worked out in my head what it was all about, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, despite the horrificness of it, maybe not enjoyed it's not the right word to use, but yeah, it was alright, yeah. That's all I can say. It's not a film you can say you enjoy. Next up, I'd delved back into the Die Hard box. I'd watched the previous 4 over the last few months, and idiot to myself, stuck in this one, didn't I? A good day to Die Hard. Absolute crap. What they were thinking, pulling this one out of the bag, I don't know. Just absolutely ruined the franchise. It's terrible acting. Jai Courtney is awful in it. The story's boring. Just a terrible addition to the franchise. One that's probably for the good stopped it right in its tracks. Yeah, not one I can recommend. I watched it when it first came out, and I promised myself I'd never see it again, but I did. Who's the idiot? Yeah, me. Yeah. Next up, I watched one of Larry's recommendations a couple of weeks ago. What Dreams May Come, or whatever it was called. It was that terrible, I can't remember what it's called now. And I know this is another one of Larry's films that he likes. Is it Two Terrible Ones? Has this one redeemed itself? You bet your bottom dollar it redeemed Larry's taste, because this is brilliant. Uh, it's Samuel Fuller. It's bound to be good. I'm a big fan of his work. This is all set in Japan, not long after the Second World War, where there's still a big American contingent in there, making things tick over smoothly after the Second World War, I guess. That's not something that I really looked into. World War II, the aftermath, and what's going on in these countries still. But there's been a train robbery, and it's ended up with the death of an American serviceman. And Robert Stack, he plays a sort of like military policeman who goes undercover and infiltrates this crime gang of Americans, whose the head is played brilliantly by Robert Ryan. And they're pulling off heists and stuff like that. And Stack is getting more and more intel on them, and they're trusting him and letting him into the gang. And yeah, really good sort of crime action film. It surprised me it was in colour, actually. I was expecting it to be a black and white film. And there's an end sequence where they have a shootout at the end. Really great stuff. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. Larry, you redeemed yourself with your taste. Nice one, mate. Next up, excuse me, a rewatch, Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. Just brilliant sci-fi in it. Steven Spielberg at his greatest. I love the slow burn of it. You don't see much of the aliens, or you don't see them at all really till the very end. And it's just this build up and build up to this event where people are being drawn to this mountain where the aliens are going to come and make contact with Earth. Yeah, really, everybody's seen it. I can't say much about it. You all know it. Just a great Spielberg film. Probably in the top 10 Spielbergs, I would have thought. Incredible stuff. Next up was, like I said before in videos, I've often go to charity shops and I pick stuff up that looks interesting to me. This DVD, I'd seen it a few months ago, sat on my shelves, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it called me when I was looking for a film to watch. Read My Lips. Now, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. This stars Vincent Cassel, who is always good in everything he's in, particularly La Haine, stuff like that. And a female actress, Emmanuel Devos, I'm going to guess it's Devo, who I've not heard of before. Some of my more learned viewers might clue me in what else I should be watching her in. But she was really good in this. She played this, she was like an introvert type secretary who was tasked with hiring herself an assistant. And she gives the job to Vincent Cassel, who's fresh out of prison, knows nothing about secretarial work, is blagging it just to appease his parole officer. And he gets more and more influential on her and gets her sucked into the world of crime. They end up spying on this, like a gang boss in a very rear window type way, actually, like staking him out. And she's getting deeper and deeper into the crime world. But yeah, really enjoyed that. I like a French film now and again. I can recommend that. If you've got that sat on your shelves, give it a watch. Good stuff. Next up, after France, we went to Italy. And we went back onto the Masters of Cinema collection and gave another viewing of La Notte, or in English, The Night. Now, I think it was Warren Goose's movie, watched this recently, and he'd put it in his monthly watches, and I'd seen it before, and it's a great, great film, and he planted this seed in my head ever since that I should watch it again. So the other day I pulled it back off the shelf and really, Great film. It's all about the day in the life of one married couple, and how their marriage is disintegrating over the course of the night. The husband is a horrible bloke. Pretty womanising in front of her face. And yeah, like I say, just great stuff. It's not going to be for everyone. Very slow pace, but that's my bag. Great ending. The scene there where they're in a bunker on the golf course. Yeah, really good stuff. I know Sam. I think Sam Glendenning has picked that up recently. Give that a watch, mate. Great stuff. Next up, Anatomy of a Fall. Now, when I saw Oppenheimer back in July, I think, when it came out of the cinema, I gave that a watch, and I thought that was going to be my film of the year. Now I don't even think it's in the top 3. I think last year was such a great year for films, and I think now this is my number 1 of last year. Sandra Huller. It's taken me all week to remember that name. I don't know. I just had problems with that name, remembering it all week. She's brilliant in this. She was brilliant in Zone of Interest. I've seen her in other films. Another German film which got off my head now what it's called. Yeah, really good actress. This is all about her husband's found dead in the snow at the bottom of the house, and the suspicion falls on Sandra Huller that she's pushed him and given him a bash on the head, and that's how he's died. And it's all about, did she do it or didn't she do it? It turns into a great courtroom drama, wonderfully acted, and I didn't know which way it was going to go the whole way through. It was one way I kept changing my mind. Yes, she's done it. No, she hasn't. I'm not going to spoil it if she did it or not, but if you can get yourself hold of a copy, or you can stream it, whatever, watch that. It's a fantastic film. And lastly, a rewatch. One of my favourites in the top 10, The Exorcist. Watched it as a family. First time my son had watched it. He's 23 now. He really enjoyed it. I don't think it scared him as much as we did when we were younger, but it's a different generation. A generational thing. God, that was hard to get out. I told you I've lost an hour's sleep today. But I think it's brilliant. The transfer on the 4K, I think superb. There was a lot of naysayers about it, but I can't see their issue with it. I thought it looked beautiful. Yes, I'll say probably about, maybe in my top 5. What a fantastic film. Yes, that's everything I've seen this week, guys. Some good stuff there. Die Hard 5. Why I did that to myself, I don't know. I'm off now. I'm going to eat my Easter egg the wife bought me. Have a nice day. Enjoy your rest from work and school or whatever it is. Goodbye.